The Ibanez RGEW520MCW has a lot of letters in its name and joins Ibanez's exotic wood series of guitars. Retailing at $800, this beautiful axe features a figured black walnut top on a Nyato body, a roasted maple neck and fingerboard, DiMarzio Air Norton and Tone Zone pickups, and an Ibanez brand double-locking tremolo bridge. I bought this guitar around 6 months ago. You can check out my unboxing linked in the card, and since then I've had plenty of time to really explore what it can do. Let's start with playability. As you'd expect from an RG, which stands for Roadstar guitar by the way, the 520 has a very thin Wizard 3 neck profile and a fairly flat radius, which make it great for technical modal playing and the like. The neck has a satin finish, which I prefer for smooth transitions around it. Like most if not all RGs, this guitar also features jumbo frets, not stainless steel unfortunately, and a 43mm nut width making for a wide string spacing. Most of my other guitars like my LTD M1000 have a shorter nut width, but adapting was pretty easy. Besides for the bridge, which I'll get to, there isn't too much to say about the playability. Ibanez likes to be consistent with their specs, so this guitar should play like most other RGs, and if you like how RGs feel, you'll like this guitar. I certainly do. As for the bridge, it's not actually an edge tremolo like those found on higher-end Ibanez guitars, but what I'm assuming is their version of a licensed Floyd Rose remake, because the design is virtually identical to a Floyd Rose tremolo bridge. But is the performance? On a shreddy guitar, I always need to have a Floyd. I don't do anything crazy with it, but I just love the tuning stability and subtle dips and vibratos to expand the level of expression the guitar offers me. Okay, yes, some dive bombs too. Before buying this guitar, I stopped by a few guitar stores to test any models that had this bridge, and I was satisfied. After nearly 6 months of playing with it, I can thankfully find no differences between this bridge and the Asian-made Floyd Rose brand bridges I have on other guitars. The tuning stability is nearly perfect, with occasional slight adjustments needed every few weeks, and the bridge performs exactly as I want it to, from the most subtle vibratos to the deepest of dives. I don't really ever pull up on a whammy bar, but this bridge is recessed, so that works too. Oh, and the tremolo arm stays nice and tight when screwed in. Personally, I can't stand when the arm jiggles around in the housing and subtracts from your control. I've even stuffed paper in other arm housings to prevent this before. Okay, and that brings us to sound. Now, I should preface this by letting you know that I'm no audiophile, and although I would say that I have a well-trained ear for music, I don't tend to notice the really subtle differences in Tonewoods and stuff like that. Despite being a member of the RG Standard series, the 520 does give you a taste of the premiums and other higher-tier Ibanez models with its authentic DiMarzio pickups. In fact, the combination of an Air Norton in the neck position and a Tone Zone in the bridge position is exactly what you'll find on even many prestige models, so these are some quality pups. A good set of passive pickups were a big selling point for me, because I was sick of the EMGs I wanted so badly as a teenager that my other Floyd-style guitars have. In my opinion, these pickups are still pretty high output and can definitely handle metal and other heavy music, but they don't have quite as brutal of a muted chug as my EMGs do, and that's to be expected from passive pickups. Instead, they have a lot of character and a tone that seems to sound great in many styles and levels of distortion, while still sounding like themselves, if that makes any sense. Another appealing sonic feature found on this guitar is the 5-way pickup selector. I mostly just use the full bridge or neck pickup personally, but switching once up from the bridge pickup gives you the inside coils of both pickups. This gives you a single coil tone which clearly distinguishes itself from the rest of the pickup options. I've heard this is something like a Telecaster sound, but I really don't know, it just sounds good, and it's a unique option that gives you more freedom than a typical 3-way switch. third position is both pickups together, as you'd expect, and in the fourth position you get the neck pickup but in parallel. From what I've researched, this gives you a less aggressive, slightly lower output version of the tone. To me, it's just another option, and that's what I like. As for Tonewoods, the roasted maple neck and fretboard suggest a brighter tone, as does the black walnut top, whereas the Nyato body is often referred to as an Asian equivalent of mahogany, adding warmth to the mix. Like I said, I'm no expert on Tonewoods, but the guitar sounds great in general. My only complaint would be that the higher notes sometimes lack sustain, but this could be a setup issue also, so I'm not too concerned. All of the tones you hear in this video are recorded direct out of my Laney IRT studio, but I'll give you a quick demonstration through the amp's speaker cabinet recorded with the Zoom Q8's room microphone. Last but not least, aesthetics. I wish my camera skills were better for this part. Frankly, for me, looking for a guitar is like looking for a woman. I care very much about what it's like on the inside and what it's capable of, but the first thing I notice is how it looks. Needless to say, I didn't look away from this one. The black walnut top and natural flat finish is an elegant, sophisticated twist on the typical figured tops you see these days. Is it a top or a veneer? Not sure. Let me get my saw. The matte finish isn't just nice to look at, but also feels extra nice when rubbing my picking hand against it, much like the effect of a satin finished neck on the fretting hand. Looking closely, the top is also bound in what looks to be pearl and abalone, and the side of the top has a cream binding itself. The back and sides of the body are finished in a deep matte red, which subtly contrasts the brown of the top, adding some life to the color scheme without taking away from the natural vibe. The pickups match the side binding in a vintage-style cream. This I find looks much whiter in stock photos of the instrument, so do be aware that it's quite cream. The top hat-style knobs have a wood appearance that matches the body naturally. I'm not sure if the knobs are made of real wood. I mean, they probably are, but Ibanez doesn't specify. The neck and fretboard come in roasted maple, which is becoming more popular lately for its increased rigidity and resistance to climate changes. Or at least that's what I've heard. But all I know is that they're lovely to look at and quite refreshing too after years of staring at raw maple and darker wood boards. The fret markers are a standard black dot, a bit boring but nothing wrong with it, and the fretboard has a cream binding which travels up to the headstock and takes on a figure of some sort up there. I don't know if this is wood or something, but it's a really nice touch. Speaking of the headstock, it has a black walnut top matching the body. Overall, I never get tired of looking at this guitar, and its unique aesthetics will stand out in almost any collection. In conclusion, the Ibanez RGEW520MCW packs an impressive amount of features and quality into a guitar that falls underneath the $1,000 price point. Ibanez playability coupled with premium DiMarzio tones and a good amount of tonal options, not to mention a fully capable double-locking tremolo system, make this a versatile and performance-ready instrument even before you factor in the gorgeous natural aesthetics of the black walnut top and roasted maple fretboard. If you're looking for a quality guitar that can handle most things you throw at it without paying a high-end price, you won't regret picking up this RG. I know I don't. If you'd like to see more of this guitar in action, I'm planning to start adding much more content to this channel, so please subscribe and drop a comment to let me know what you think of the Ibanez RGEW, well, you know the rest. Thanks for watching!